Welcome to Darshan America, folks. We come to you from Washington, D.C. My name is Ramesh Bhutani.
And my name is Shilpa Alimchandani.
And I am sure you're sitting at home with your family, enjoying Thanksgiving weekend. I know you participated on the Black Friday.
Those of you brave souls who went out shopping.
Did you notice this time they opened the shops at 9 o'clock on Thursday of Thanksgiving?
I went shopping to run some errands the weekend before Thanksgiving, and I feel like the sales and all of that stuff, it's well before Black Friday now.
Oh, that's true, but they have some special so that they get in the walk-in traffic, you know. Yeah. I love the scenes when they show those people, you know, waiting at the Macy doors, and the minute it hits 6 o'clock, this time it was 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
The minute it hits 12 o'clock, Macy's open and everybody's in, you know.
It's mayhem.
I tell you, retail has come a long way. I used to be in retail back in the 60s. In fact, I started at Tyson's Corner when it first opened. Used to close at 6 o'clock on Saturday and was closed Sunday.
Wow.
I mean, this was called Blue Laws at that time. And state of Virginia believed in it, you know. And after I left, even though I felt that even 6 days was too much, now it's 7 days, 24/7. I really feel that the people in the industry of retail don't get to enjoy certain holidays.
Well, it's certainly, you can't do business that way, being closed early and on Sundays and all of that kind of thing. But I have to say, here in Washington, we still have this habit when it comes to politicians. They go home early, take their breaks. Of course, Congress wasn't around this week, because it's Thanksgiving. They get the whole week off. We were hoping there would be some great super committee compromise. Guess what? That didn't happen either.
But the laws don't apply to them, folks. For instance, you know, the committee was in charge of making sure $1.2 to $1.5 trillion worth of spending cuts were made. And what did the committee do? They wanted to get into Bush tax cuts. They wanted to raise revenue. They wanted to go everywhere except the mandate, which was cut $1.2 to $1.5 trillion. That was the mandate that President Obama gave. But then he made a mistake. He appointed the current senators and congressmen who used this committee to throw a lot of fundraisers during the last 2 months and raise a ton of money. It was like, okay, you raise money for me, now I'm going to give you this big opportunity where a lot of businessmen are going to come to you and say, don't cut me, don't cut my benefit, don't do this, and they'll throw money. It was nothing. It was a ruse to raise funds, not to really do the American business.
Well, you know what makes me sad is that, okay, you could say, well, if they didn't come to a compromise, at least we know that come 2013, there will be these automatic spending cuts that we can expect, right? Both military and non-military spending cuts. But the problem is that already there are members of Congress who are saying, well, maybe we want to change that rule. Maybe we'll bend that, and we won't have the same automatic cuts go into place. I mean, you make the rules, you break them, you say nothing's going to happen until the next election. What is this?
I want to tell you, there is Republicans and then there are Democrats. When they run for the Congress and they run for the Senate, they will tell you, look at me, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do this. But when they get elected, it's the Democratic Party rules and it's the Republican Party rules. I'm really tired of it. In fact, I loved an opinion piece that was written in Wall Street Journal by Sarah Palin.
Oh, really?
Yes. She says there's a saying by Mark Twain, who wrote, there is no distinctly Native American criminal class except Congress. Throw them all out. And that's what she's really recommending. She's talking about that politicians who arrive in Washington, D.C. as men and women of modest means leave as millionaires. Can someone really explain how does that happen?
Well, she's talking about her Republican colleagues as well, right?
Yeah, she's talking about entire Congress, and that includes Senate too. They say they are practicing insider trading with non-public government information. They make the rules, they make the laws, and seriously, they should not be trading in real estate and or in stock market. So what she's recommending is that every time they purchase something, they need to make it public within 5 days. So if there's a conflict of interest, somebody can actually go find it. That's something that's very, very important to her. Secondly, she's saying that, you can write an FOIA request, Freedom of Information request, on the administration side, and you can get any information you want. She says, but to get a document from Congress is difficult than getting one from CIA.
Are you serious?
They do not want to disclose how they do these things. Any conflict of interest, it gets buried. This is an endemic problem encompassing leadership on both sides of the aisle, which I'm happy to see. And she says, reform must be relentless because fighting corruption is like playing a game of whack-a-mole. You knock it down in one area only to see it pop up in another. But one of the things that she's writing is, they need an equality law. For instance, folks, if the staff of the congressman decides to do a whistleblowing, they can't do it. Congressmen will have them fired. They cannot go anywhere. You'll make them stop because it seems like state secrets. That's what, under the law, they cannot do a whistleblowing. That is so sad. One of the other things she's saying is the laws that apply to the private sector must apply to Congress. This is extremely important. And the next one, which I really like, not accepting any campaign contributions while Congress is in session.
Wow. So only when Congress is out of session.
That's right.
When you go back to your district or whatever.
That's right.
Then you can do your fundraising.
And no transitioning into a lobbying career after leaving office. Because right now, all congressmen and senators, once they retire, what do? Go on the K Street.
Revolving door.
That's right.
Right? Between Capitol Hill and K Street.
I really believe that what she has written resonates with most of the people.
Well, the fight is not only, sort of between Republicans and Democrats in Congress. There's some arguments going on right now among Democrats, particularly between